Morning. Just wanted to share a 6-month update since my last upload on what I've learned and what I've been doing towards the treatment of scabies, morgellins, and other parasites that I contracted while in Vietnam. I wanted to kind of review some of the causes, symptoms, and treatments. It's kind of like marketing. You don't know exactly what's working, but you know that in combination some things are working. So, hey, progress is progress. It's a slow victory. But in any event, what I've learned about causes, obviously, with, scabies, the cause is a mite, which is, of course, a small bug that gets under your skin and itches. And there's different types of mites. Some mites come from dogs, some mites come from birds, mites come from a lot of different places. Some make people itch, some don't. I think that there's really sort of a secondary issue that a lot of people don't realize, and it has to do with autoimmune deficiencies. If you have eczema, for example, or colitis or some other autoimmune problem, I think there's a higher correlation of contracting things such as scabies. Um, we know that there's close to 500 million people, mostly in Asia, that live with scabies, and they're relatively symptom free, and they control it with diet, salt, and it's not a major issue like it is with some people here that have fair skin and perhaps other immune system complications. I'm not a doctor. I'm just speaking from what I've learned. This hasn't been peer reviewed. This is opinion. Other parasites, I think when you contract internal parasites, perhaps you become more likely to contract things such as scabies. There's a whole lot of stuff on that. A lot of it's speculative, but our bodies are interrelated to what we eat, where we've been, and what other issues are going on. So the symptoms that I've had um, internally was weight loss. That was a big factor. Externally, horrible itching, lesions, rashes, visible burrows. Um, this affected not only what was below my face, but also affected my ears and got in my hair. So, some people say scabies is something that only happens from, the neck down. Well, that's not necessarily true. So, when you treat yourself, you got to treat your entire body. That includes what's in your ears and other places. Sorry, it's just it's kind of embarrassing, but it's the way it is. So, what have been some of the treatments I've used? Well, let me start with environmental control. These things are small, they're everywhere. You got to be super clean. And everybody in the family, including the dog, needs to be on the program. Some people are asymptomatic, doesn't mean that the bugs aren't crawling around on them. It just means their body's a lot more resistant and they're not affected the same way. Same with dogs. You know, my dog's completely healthy, but no doubt the bugs are getting on me, they're getting on him, they're getting everywhere. So environmental control is, I think, your number one task in cleaning everything. Heat is what kills these things. Sunlight helps, bleach helps, but you gotta pretty much anything you touch on a daily basis needs to be cleaned and washed. Um, put your clothes in bags, and be very meticulous. This is something that takes sometimes several months to kick or longer. And you forget about something, you get lazy, you recycle your shirt, you don't put it away in a bag, you know, you're infected again. It's just the way it is. Carpets suck. You gotta get a HEPA vacuum with a HEPA filter, something to 3 microns that'll pick up these things. Um, steam cleaning that helps. An iron's your best friend. Iron your clothes before you put them on. That's just it's just a safe way of going. You know, you'll figure it out along the way. That's environmental control is key. Um, Talk about diet. You know, you go to the doctor, and if you get diagnosed with this, you know, they're probably just going to give you some cream and tell you to go away and say good luck. And well, you know, you wouldn't be here if you knew that was working. Not that you shouldn't use traditional things. I'm not just saying that, you know, this is all purely an organic thing. It's use whatever it takes to get better. So I'm not saying don't listen to your doctor. I'm just saying it can be a complicated game. So foods, you know, you gotta feed the body and get your immune system up to really fight this thing. Because I think at the end of the day, it's your body that's going to kick it more than anything else. The natural oils that your body creates, a lot of it has to do with what you put in the body. Uh, I have a pretty high salt intake. You know, a couple teaspoons a day. I eat a lot of sea salt. It's nasty, but I think it helps regulate the body, and the bugs don't like it. Garlic is I like garlic. Garlic's good. I eat a lot of limes, keep the high pH. That seems to help a bit too. You know, and then there's all kinds of, you know, fish oils, probiotics. You know, just eating a balanced, healthy diet is important, especially if there's weight loss. You know, I lost a massive amount of weight, not because of scabies, but because of the internal stuff. And you know, I eat like crazy, and you know, you gotta eat and eat and eat. Um, Vitamins, oh yeah, lots of vitamins. You know, pretty much the whole spectrum. Uh, I take a lot of C, probably 8 to 10 grams a day of C. I take a lot of everything. I take a lot of D vitamins, A vitamins, um, the whole spectrum. You know, take them all. B's good, niacin's good. And I'm not a vitamin sales guy either. I'm not trying to sell anyone anything. This has just been my experience. Um, Things that you put on your skin. Well, you know, it's a tough thing, but you know, I use sometimes I gotta put a little bleach and peroxide on. You don't want to burn your skin. Um, Salt, very concentrated saline solution. You know, if you live near an ocean, you know, going for a swim in the ocean every day is a great way of getting rid of this stuff. So create that environment in your home if you can. Um, Essential oils, there's a whole spectrum. Um, Tea tree oil is popular. It's expensive. I like eucalyptus oil. That's very good. In Vietnam, they use peppermint oil. I've heard of people using neem oil. You can mix them all together with a little bit of olive oil to help with absorption. That helps. Put them in an eyedropper. Um, in the bath, you know, strong scrub brush. You know, I don't bathe every day. I think sometimes if you bathe too much, you're gonna hurt your skin and some of the natural defense. So, you know, it's kind of an every other day routine for me, unless I'm feeling really itchy, and then it's, you know, straight to the bathtub with lots of salts and a scrub brush, and you can put a little bit of bleach in there. Some people put OxyClean, with the high oxygen content that seems to get the skin. But you know, the big issue is these things are under the skin and they're laying eggs, and you know, you can kill the adults, but how do you really get the larva? And that's a toughie. You know, the eucalyptus oil might help with that, but you know, frankly, the what you're gonna take internally is gonna help with that too. The salts and frankly, some of the, you know, prescribed medicines. Oh, did I mention benzoyl benzoid? That's a dog mange treatment. It's a spray. It actually comes from a flower, and it's you can get it on the internet. Just look up dog mange. That helps a lot too. But it doesn't. It burns. It stings, but it doesn't. You know, it paralyzes the bugs. It doesn't necessarily kill them. But yeah, benzyl's good stuff. I highly recommend you try that if you haven't. It does provide some relief. But in terms of like the internal medicines that get prescribed, um, well, it's hard to find stuff in America and get doctors to give you this stuff. And I wouldn't recommend it, but if you have like like if you deal with livestock, some of the stuff that they treat with livestock is minoxidectin, dimetrol, which is a heartworm tablet, um, albendazole, which is a very expensive prescription drug that reduces larva and worm count. And apparently, I think some of the research suggests that you try these things in combination and you take a lot of oils with them to help absorb them in your body. Um, Ivermectin's another one that's been used for scabies treatment, but I haven't had much luck with all the internal stuff. It kind of helps a little bit, but it's an ongoing thing because I think these eggs can lie dormant for several weeks or a month, and that's the tough one. I think that the thing that's really going to kick it is goes back to environmental control and getting outside. Sunlight is really, really important, and exercise. And the biggest thing I would say with all this is mental attitude. This is something that doesn't control your life. This is just something you deal with. It's like it's an itch, and how much you want to scratch, it's up to you. And yeah, it's real. Yeah, you need to deal with it, but don't let it run your life. And don't go crazy telling other people this and that and this and that because they don't know and they don't really care, and it just makes you look like an idiot. So anyway, that's just crazy advice that I've come up with. Um, some people have said, okay, well, try MMS, DMSO, which is a sulfur-based substance. Yeah, I think the sulfur's good. I eat sulfur as well. You know, but I'm just kind of low on funds, and I'm going with the Walmart special, if you know what I mean. Got to keep the budget down. So that's my laundry list. I'll try to get back with maybe a little more clarity on some of this stuff, but I just wanted to throw that out there for those of you first-time itchers that are trying to seek some solutions. Just keep it real and don't itch it.